I'm Gilad. I'm managing the HPC Advisory Council. And first I want to tell you good morning and thanks for having you here. I think we'll have more people coming throughout the day, more or less. But nevertheless, appreciate coming here this morning. Hopefully you had some time for coffee before we start the day. So I want to welcome you for I think it's the fourth time we're doing a collaboration with the Barcelona Supercomputing Center of doing an HPC day here in Spain. So we're very happy to be here for the fourth time. Before I go through some of the details of what we're going to have today, I definitely want and need to thank first the people that help us to make this happen. So first for Barcelona Supercomputing Center and the folks there that help us to organize this day here for the fourth time. I want to thank DK from Ohio State University that is following with us throughout the conferences that we're doing around the world and give an update on the things that his group developed around HPC and even further than HPC if you look on big data and other things. Folks from University of Valencia working on the GPU and things of that sort. We just had a presentation a month ago in Brazil. So for them it's local here. So we think it's a very important development that can enable more and more things, and definitely now around the emerging machine learning and application in that sort are good, and what they're going to present later today has become a very critical component of that. And CSCS, Hussein, is part of the activities that we're doing within the HPC Advisory Council, coming from the Swiss Supercomputing Center, which we're having our own day in March, or 3 days in March. So he's here also to talk a little bit about his angle of what he's doing in storage. So I would like to thank especially you guys. DDN for helping to sponsor the event. Definitely very appreciate to the efforts of DDN and the work and collaboration and help that they provide to the HPC Advisory Council for running those meetings, and all the media sponsors, and especially Rich from Inside HPC, who are also going with us from place to place and helps to capture the information presented here so we can post it after, and he can post it on Inside HPC, and people can go after and watch it again, and we can, with that we can reach more audience and more people. So today it's a full packed day, and we try to bring multiple topics into a single day. If it's ranging from MPI to storage to where the market is going, and folks from Intersect 360 is going to cover where the market is going, GPU computings, the road to exascale. So we're bringing multiple subjects, and hopefully you're going to find those interesting. And the reason we bring in multiple subjects is that we want to touch multiple areas, as we think that's going to help people to gain some information on things that are being developed out there. The goal of the day, it's not just people here to come and present, it's for you guys to also get more information and understanding of things that are happening. So feel free to ask questions, feel free to interact with the presenter. We are having a tight schedule, so Brian here will try to make sure that we're holding time, but still try to interact or don't miss opportunity here. The folks that speak, a couple of things for you. First, make sure that Brian has your slides so we can present them, unless you're bringing your own laptop. And second, you will enjoy double mics today. So there is one mic here to talk to the audience, and then there is a second mic for the video. So we want to make sure that not just we present here, but also we're capturing that for other people that couldn't make it. And at the end of the day, we're going to have a raffle. So I think there is a couple of things that Brian brought as a raffle. So at the end of the day, for people who stay here, there will be a raffle for a couple of... You want to tell what it is? You probably can tell what it is, but what are...
It's an Apple Watch and a GoPro.
Also, it's a GoPro and Apple Watch. So 2 things for the people who's going to stay here. We're going to do a raffle at the end of the day today. From the council perspective, we continue to grow and add more members to the council. The council mission is essentially to do HPC outreach and education. So help people to understand things that are being developed, created, and how to actually take advantage of them. To do multiple things, to advance research or product development or other things of that sort. We have around, or getting close to 420 member companies, organizations, universities, and users as part of the HPC Council. So growing very nicely from that perspective. My job is to put all the logos of all the members on one slide. So that's my job. So it's getting smaller and smaller, but still managing to do that. A few things, or a few updates on the council activities. One of them is we're hosting a system center, which is physically located in California, which hosts donations of equipment that comes from multiple members of the council. And the goal of that center is to provide free access to people who wants to do their own testing, development, qualification, and things of that. We continue to refresh the center there with new equipment, if it's CPUs or GPUs or storage or interconnect or any other aspect of that. So there is always new things, and sometimes we also have equipment there before it actually hit the market. So you can always check with us if you want to test new things that you know that are coming but not there yet. And there is a good chance that we already have those elements in place. We are focusing, one of the main things that we're doing is focusing on best practices and looking at variations of hardware elements from one side, and then running multiple applications, multiple workloads, doing profiling and understanding how actually you can optimize your system to achieve the best efficiency or the best performance. We're looking into using of open source tools, for example, how to optimize those. We don't go and says, you need to buy those elements. With things you can find outside from an open source perspective, how you can optimize, as well as looking into different products from different companies, and also be able to do comparisons between them and give you information on what works better in what case. We are continuing with the University Award Program, which is a program that helps specific projects with either funding or access to systems or other things that can help progress that research. In the last 2 years, we're kind of focusing on a specific area, which is bringing high-performance computing into music. And this is one of new areas which people in HPC it's HPC and music, how that's kind of connected. So it is being, the connection is being done right now, or being worked out. The idea is to take HPC systems and be able to compose music in a very high resolution from that perspective, or capabilities, and using that in order to replace, for example, orchestras or other things like that for movies and films and things of that. So there is a guy that came from Greece, and we think that he's doing a very nice progress into using HPC systems to create music. We've been helping him for the last 2 years. Potentially we might even take it to the 3rd year. I think for the next year, actually be able to come with something that people can start using. So it's a very interesting. There is a work group called HPC Music, which includes more information around that. Another thing that we're doing is managing the student cluster competition, which is a competition between universities that's sending teams every year to the International Supercomputing Conference in Germany. And those guys, or those universities, under a restriction of power consumption, They can come and build any system and any hardware system that they want, and then they are competing on achieving the best performance for either the simple benchmarks of Leanpack or running specific application or specific workloads. We see the competition is an important role in bringing the next generation of HPC people. It helps to bring HPC into new universities and enabling people with tools, or to start bringing, essentially is bringing innovation into those areas, because students need not only to design the hardware, but they also need to practice on the software and optimize the software. So we're hosting every year 11 teams that we pick from different countries around the world. And it's nice to see that there is new countries that start to send teams. For example, the competition this year, we saw a team from Estonia, which is not that famous, I think, in an HPC research. And we're seeing things coming from Brazil and India and other places. So we do see how that competition enable more areas or more universities to start bringing HPC as part of their research. Few of the things that are remaining for us this year. We still have 2 planned conferences. One of them is in China, which will be the week before supercomputing, as part of HPC China. So that's the next one in November, and then we have one in the end of the year at South Africa, together with the HPC conference in South Africa. For next year, we're going to do the same round. So we're going to plan to be in Switzerland in March. And doing the US somewhere in the February timeframe, and potentially we'll add more countries around that. Multiple places you can follow us. Everything that we create is out there. So if it's best practices on different applications, new equipment that comes in, development and things of that, so you can more than welcome to follow us and get closer to what we release. So again, I want to again welcome you here. Good morning again. Hopefully you're going to enjoy throughout the presentation of the day. If there are things that we can do better for next year, please approach either myself or Brian and let us know about subjects that you are interested on, or things that we can improve for the next meeting.